Today in creating this sunset bracelet to accompany these sunset earrings. If you need any of the materials, they were listed at the beginning of the video, as well as below in the description area. You'll find a full list of materials and links to both PotomacBeads.com and PotomacBeads.eu. So gather up your materials and come create with me. So the Sunset Path is the sister design to my sunset earrings here. So I'll be using the exact same components that I used in these earrings. I'm starting off with 2 needles, and I already have strung on my Halo Beads SuperDuo along with an 11-0, a quarter Tila, 15, 11, 15 on both sides. So from there, I'm going to go down into the second hole of my quarter Tila and kind of pull that, and we're going to do that on both sides here. Again, just going back through that second hole there, and from there I'm going to pick up an 11-0 with both of my needles and then go through my Halo Bead SuperDuo. And I'm going to be going through the same hole with both needles, just opposite, going in the opposite direction. So with my right needle, I'll be going towards the left, and with my left needle, I'll be going towards the right, so that they'll kind of crisscross there in the middle. And from there, we can kind of pull this tight and get that start of our pattern. Okay. So from here, we kind of have our go-to pattern that we'll be doing, and we'll just kind of be crisscrossing each other, kind of going in that kind of crisscross pattern. So from here, I'm going to pick up 2 of my 15s with both needles, and I'm going to jump up into that second hole of my Halo Bead SuperDuo, and then doing the same with my second needle. I already have my 15s on, and I'm going to go through that top hole of my SuperDuo. And from here, we're going to go ahead and add on our 11 and our Tilas. So I'm going to pick up an 11, and then my quarter Tila, my 15, 11, 15, and go through that second hole of our quarter Tila. And I'll do the exact same thing with my second needle. So picking up an 11, quarter Tila, 15, 11, 15, and going through that second hole of your quarter Tila here. And then we'll get ready to add on our SuperDuo. So we'll add an 11 on both needles, and then going through our Halo Bead SuperDuo, again going through that same hole, just in the opposite directions. And now you can go ahead and pull tight. We'll have the start of our next set. So from here, we'll just keep going. We'll add on our 15s, our 2 15s, jump up into that second hole of our Halo Bead SuperDuo, and keep going with our design of 15 quarter Tila, and then 15, 11, 15, going through that second hole, 11, and our SuperDuos. So just keep continuing this pattern until you get your desired length. So once you have the desired length of your bracelet, we're going to start on the edges. So we're coming out of our SuperDuo Halo here, and starting with one side, I'm going to go up through my 11, my quarter Tila, and that next 11. And just pull that tight so you have everything kind of right in place where we want it. So coming out of that top 11, I'm going to add a 15, 11, and one of my 3mm crystals, another 11, and a 15. And from there, I'm going to jump over into the next 11 on that next point. And just go right through there. And so we'll keep doing this design, or this pattern. So coming out of that 11, I'm going to pick up a 15, 11, a 3mm crystal, 11, and 15, and jump over to that next 11. So we're going to start kind of this scalloped pattern along the edges. So we're going to keep going with this, and we'll start it on the next side as well. So again, coming out of the 11, it's a 15, 11, 3mm, 11, 15, jumping over to that next 11. All right, and we'll go up until we have both sides finished. All right, so now that we've gone through our outer edge here, and we have our nice length, right now I am coming out of the 11-O's on either side, and I'm gonna make my way with my right needle through that next 15 and through my halo bead SuperDuo. So I'm gonna go just straight across and come out. And I'm going to do the same with my left side as well. So coming through that 11-O here, I'm going to go through across to the opposite side of my halo there. Okay, so now both of your threads should be coming through either side of your halo bead. So now I'm going to add a 15, two 15s, and an 11, and go through that top hole of my halo and do the exact same thing on the other side. So two 15s and a halo. Or, I'm sorry, two 15s and an 11. And then through that halo, coming across the other side. And from here, I'm going to do two 15s and going through one of my crystals and doing the same on the other side as well. Two 15s and going through that same crystal that we just added on. There we go. And then from there, I'm going to add on my wire guard, just right on top of that crystal. Just go through either sides, and then we can go ahead and finish this thread off and knot those down. Just going through our wire guard and then doing the same with your second needle as well. Okay, so now that we have our one side finished off here and tied down, we're going to go ahead and add on our clasp. And since we didn't do this at the beginning, we're going to kind of do it a little bit backwards. So I have a new bit of thread here, just a little bit. You don't need that much, but still using two needles. So I'm going to go through my clasp. And with both needles, I'm going to go through my crystal and then pull that down towards your clasp. And from there, I'm going to pick up 3 15s on both needles. So 1, 2, 3, and 3 on your second needle as well. And let those fall down. And from here, let me put this up here. We're gonna go into opposite sides of our SuperDuo halo here. So one needle is going to go one way, and your second needle is going to go through the opposite way. You can just go ahead and pull that. There we go. And from here, we're going to add on our 11 and 2 15s. And I'm going to go through the bottom hole of my SuperDuo. And coming out the opposite side, kind of pull that nice and tight. And I'll do the same on the other side. So adding on an 11 and 2 15s and going through one side of our halo bead SuperDuo, going out across, kind of pulling that nice and tight. And from here, I'm going to make my way back up to my clasp. So just following along those beads that I just added. You can kind of pull it tight as you're going. And then up through those 3 15s. Up through our crystal. And then doing the same with your second needle. So coming out on that opposite side, I'm going to go up through those 15s and 11 that we just added. And again, kind of pulling it nice and tight as you're going. And turn it around, just because I work better with my right hand. So again, just going back up, making your way up to your clasp. And through that crystal. All right, and here we can kind of pull it so that we have the crystal right at the kind of point there. And I'm going to go through the hoop on my clasp just one more time, and going from opposite sides with my needle. So they're going to crisscross through my clasp. So from the right needle, I'm going to go through onto the left side, and with my left needle, I'm going to go through to my right side. And then I'm going to go back down through my crystal, and then we can go ahead and tie off our thread and trim down any extra that we have. Just making our way down. If I can get through there, there we go. And here we'll just go ahead and tie off our thread. And just using a simple right over left, left over right knot. And then again, just burning down any extra thread that you have. And there we go. We have our finished sunset bracelet to go along with our sunset earrings. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed creating your own Sunset Path bracelet. Remember, if you do need any of the materials, they are listed below me, as well as links to both PotomacBeads.com and PotomacBeads.eu. As always, we'd love to hear from you, so be sure to leave some comments below and let me know how this design helped inspire your own. So until next time.